have an update this morning on the case of a 3-year-old left in a van for several hours at Representative Justin Harris's daycare. The smell of pumpkin spice and football tailgate food means fall is definitely in the air. Unfortunately, so is ragweed, the biggest allergy trigger of the season. New today, the Obama administration is calling for less standardized testing in our nation's schools, a move that has strong support from educators. From gender to corruption and leadership, Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina spoke at the Washington County Lincoln Day event that was at Springdale High School on Thursday night. After the private option passed in 2013, the state sought out companies to oversee the integration of systems that track Medicaid beneficiaries.
Speaking with Springdale, Bentonville, Rogers PD, no reports at this hour. Also, Arkansas State Police reporting no flooding or accidents regarding the rain at this hour.
Of course, typical on your arms, and then they've got some on my legs. So this is an intense test, but you know, for some people, it's needed.
And I've got on 2 ties because remember they wore 2 ties and said people going to be wearing 2 ties.
In 2015.
Got Back to the Future.
Mega fan over here for sure.
Back to the Future. A multi-million-dollar defense contract being awarded to a Springdale manufacturer. Happening now, more than 100 of law enforcement executives from across the country, including Arkansas, are in Washington, D.C. today to call for reducing crime by reducing unnecessary arrest.
We are celebrating National Pancake Day. That's right, IHOP giving away free pancakes, but they are also asking their customers to give something back in return.
All new this morning, military service organizations and Walmart teaming up to support veterans throughout an initiative called Greenlight a Vet. It's designed to encourage Americans to engage with veterans and their families as they transition out of their uniform and back into their community. Now, you can Greenlight a Vet today by hiring a member of the military or helping a veteran find a job. Volunteer or serve with local veterans groups. Start a mentor-mentee relationship with a returning veteran. Raise awareness on social media, or you can change your porch light to green.
I think it's important for our nation.
Walmart says it is committed to greenlighting veterans and will hire 250,000 veterans by the year 2020. The company greenlighted its 100,000th veteran hired this past month. Walmart is partnering with several Northwest Arkansas organizations to bring this Greenlight project to life. KNWA's Joseph Holloway joins us from the control room with more on one of those partners. Joseph, good morning.
Good morning to you, Chris.
All right, Joseph, thanks a lot for that report. In other news this morning, Fayetteville police released the name of a man they say was stabbed to death. According to authorities, 25-year-old David Allen died Saturday after being stabbed 10 times in the neck and back. Investigators say it happened at the stadium apartments when Allen began to fight with a family member. A report states witnesses asked for help, and that's when suspect Cantrell Graydon grabbed a knife, later telling police he, quote, flipped out and stabbed the victim. Graydon is facing a charge of capital murder as the investigation continues. Fayetteville police arrest a man after they say he beat a woman and her dog with a gun. According to investigators, Derek Stidham forced his way into the woman's apartment armed with a loaded handgun Wednesday. The victim told police he'd wanted to know if she had another man in her home. Police say Stidham hit her and her dog in the head with the gun barrel. Officers say he fired several shots into the air outside the apartment. A woman accused of driving into a crowd and killing 4 people at a homecoming parade is expected in court today. Police in Stillwater, Oklahoma say 25-year-old Adacia Chambers was under the influence of drugs or alcohol when she drove into a crowd at Oklahoma State University's homecoming parade Saturday. Her attorney disputes that, saying an illness may have contributed to the accident. 4 people were killed, including a 2-year-old boy. Dozens more were hurt, some critically. Chambers faces 4 counts of second-degree murder. Our Channing Barker was at that parade Saturday, just a few blocks away from where the driver plowed into that crowd. She has more this morning from Stillwater. All right, Channing, thanks a lot. Happening today, the Bentonville Police Department is teaching women how to defend themselves for free. Women's self-defense classes will be held this week starting tonight from 6 to 10 p.m. with 2 more classes on Tuesday and Thursday. Participants are asked to dress for constant activities as the classes will be physically demanding. For more information, including how to register, search self-defense on our website.
I found out God was working here.
You're going to be changed from the inside.
God was ready to do a work here.
Go to any jail or detention center around Northwest Arkansas, and likely you'll find despair, emptiness, and regret. But in that same setting, you'll also find acceptance, restoration, and faith.
There were desperate people who needed hope.
Here at the Washington County Adult Detention Center, men and women are paying the price for making bad decisions on the outside. But that's where these prison ministries come into play. Most of these detainees who come to Chaplain Adams or the other ministers are looking to now make the right choices when given a second chance.
When I walk in jail, I see a chance to offer somebody hope. Now, we can only offer as much hope as they'll accept, but I see a possibility of sharing my faith.
Chaplain Earl Adams was a pastor at a church in Northwest Arkansas for over 20 years.
I had security, to stay there.
But a new calling led Adams down a different path in his life ministry.
It was obvious God led me this way. I began to come to the jail to help any way I could.
In 1998, Cross Church of Springdale started the Washington County Jail Chaplaincy Program. It began with just Chaplain Adams. More volunteers soon followed. 17 years later, more than 100 volunteers have joined the program to provide spiritual leadership for inmates in Northwest Arkansas jails. Doug Sarver is the chairman of its board.
The whole idea behind the jail ministry is that of faith, and it's the faith executed on behalf of the volunteer, on behalf of the chaplains, associate chaplains, where they say, we're just going to give ourselves away without any kind of expectation coming back to us.
I think it says a lot about him.
Brian Hansen is back behind bars for violating his parole. He says despite the many mistakes in his life, he appreciates what people like Chaplain Adams do to help him make a life change.
I know that inmates in general are probably intimidating to the normal people, There might be some people that wouldn't ever think about coming in here, but it's amazing what they do. Without them, there'd be a lot more suffering and pain in the county jail.
We minister to everybody. All kinds of crimes, race, doesn't matter. We don't see color. We see somebody that needs help, and if we can help, we will.
Faith, it's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It's also what continues to fuel Chaplain Adams in his prison ministry, hoping his message will reach detainees like Brian Hansen.
It's taken me coming to jail to get close to God like I should be, and I guess I was just hard-headed and that's what I needed, but I got a family to take care of and they're my priority now.
I believe in miracles, and changed lives, and we gave them hope, and taught them you can do this.
AP, Cole Hedlund was one of many storylines coming into day one of training camp. And with those plethora of storylines, really comes a lot of uncertainty going into the Razorback season opener against Auburn, now 25 days away. After practice, Coach Bielema spoke on the emerging leaders on his team.
Couldn't be happier with some of the senior leadership and some of the more veteran players taking some leadership roles during the out of season to get to where they are. And then the incoming freshmen, really excited about this group. I think it shows today, and we'll see the course of this week that there's some guys that are going to be able to help us. There's going to be some guys that can help in certain ways, not just in a reserve role, but maybe in a big way at certain positions.
And talking about that leadership, Coach Bielema spoke in great detail and really mentioning on several occasions the names of Trey Flowers and Bray Cook, hoping that they take the reins and take over this Arkansas team. More tonight at 10 o'clock. We're live outside Razorback Stadium. I'm Chris Frye for the Razorback Nation.